Brookville, Pennsylvania, a quaint logging community in the northwestern part of the state, comes to life as JM Productions brings the short track off-road motorsports tough truck series to town. From the Jefferson County Fairgrounds in Brookville, Pennsylvania, JM Productions brings you the Storm Tough Truck Racing Series. You know, this really is a festival of horsepower. We're going to call it the Pennsylvania Nationals for JM Motorsports. We've got all kinds of action here. We've got the monster trucks. You see some mega trucks there. We've got the tough trucks though, and that's what we're going to focus on this edition of BC Power Sports. Two classes. We've got the stocks. They're going to run singles on a figure 8 course. Then we've got the modifieds. They're going to run a double figure 8. We'll start on one side. We'll do a full lap and go around to the other. And that means you will finish in the lane that your opponent started in. It's going to be some wild action. So stay with us on BC Power Sports. We'll be right back at the start of the stock class, round 1. Back in Brookville, Pennsylvania at the Jefferson County Fairgrounds, stock class, tough truck racing, ready to go. This is Josh Eller out of Rising Sun, Maryland, and this incredible Subaru Brat. He's going to lay down a time that the rest are going to have to go after. Now, Cody GILT has already made his run. We'll see if Eller can beat his time. Back leg of the course, laying out a pretty nice run. A little bit of kick out of that rear end. It's awful light in the back with that pickup bed. Down the middle, quite a bit of smoke out of the rear differential. We'll have to see what develops with that. By the second round, now down the final leg of the course, and this triple on the front. Not slowing him down, though. A lot of bouncing again out of that Subaru Brat. He'll come across the finish line. See what he posts. 51:63, so he does beat the time. That'll be new fast time. We'll see if anyone can beat it, and if anyone can, it'll be Arthur Chester, one of the toughest. KIRKWOOD, Pennsylvania. They're running that signature pink and green. Slides out a little bit. That's going to hurt his time as he makes his way over the second jump of the first leg. Now gets ready to start his second leg. Nice job coming over the center jump there. Did not. Coming around to the final leg. Let's see how he handles this triple. Doesn't slow down at all, right into the third jump. Nice hit. And it keeps going. 51:75, not quite fast enough, but he was right on the cusp of taking out Josh Eller. Joe Pitts heads back out to stage the next vehicle, but watch Arthur Chester take this third jump. Had a nice rhythm going through the first two and just keeps it floored into the second. Look at this. He's getting knocked around in that cab, but he's well protected. A nice solid roll cage. Here comes one of the wild men in tough trucks. This is Jeremiah CREASY out of QUARRYVILLE, Pennsylvania. And if anybody knows tough truck racing, you know it's in QUARRYVILLE. That is the Buck. That's his home track. Came out here to see how he does against the rest of this field here in Brookville. His trucks are always built so perfectly for these courses, and he's doing a nice job here. Nice and quick around the corner, a little bit of a step out in the rear end, but he's almost a full second ahead of the rest of the field at this point. Let's see how he handles this second. He's in trouble, into the tires on his side. Jeremiah CREASY rolls it over. And that's obvious. DNF. See if Jeremiah is all right. The crew runs down to get him out of this vehicle. We're going to take a look at the replay right now, and it looked like he was making a nice smooth corner, and it just hooked. He got on the gas a little bit late, and it hooked coming into the straightaway. It looked like he was trying to square off that corner, and a hard hit into those tires bangs up some of the body panels. There you see Jeremiah in the black driving suit near the tires. We'll go ahead and tip this thing back over, and he'll get it off the track. And we saw him in the fall of 2016 in the four-wheel drive class, and he flipped that Jeep over too. So we've maybe got a little bit of curse with our cameras when it comes to Jeremiah CREASY. Get ready for our next vehicle. This is Mara Spencer out of Little Meadows, Pennsylvania. Joe Pitts heads off the track. Let's see what she can do.
Okay, ladies, come on now, represent.
Awaiting the start for Mara Spencer. Here she goes. Hit kind of hard there on the rear end, and awful lot of ride height in this vehicle. That may hurt her in the corner. She may not be able to really drive it in there for fear of rocking up and rolling over. We've seen that the track will bite. She's making a pretty good run though here. She might be in the hunt.
What do you think? She ain't scared of it.
Nice run going there. Something to test. Oh, she's dropping fuel all over the course. She's going to get a red flag here for sure. Though she may not see it, but may not want to stop the gas tank. The gas tank has fallen completely out of the rear end. She doesn't need the red flag now. She's not going anywhere. DNF for sure. As the gas tank remains between the second and third jump of that final leg. Pouring out.
We're going to take a quick little break. I'll play you some music.
Track official goes over to handle it. That thing's got to be awfully heavy. Very full. We'll get another look at it. You're going to see right here, it looks like she hit kind of hard and it detached her. She punched a hole in it, but it definitely was coming loose. You can see it shaking right there. And then right here, just pouring gas all over the place. No worry at this point. They had the red flag out. You can see it waving there in the corner, but she's not going to need it. The gas tank falls completely out from under it. Watch this last hit she takes here, because she goes over this jump with no power. She had no way to drive it out. Spiked her in the cab a little bit. There she rolled that third jump, but I'm going to go ahead and push her off with the four-wheeler. What a way to start our stock class. We're going to go ahead and get that gas cleaned up. There you see the fire department on the spot. We got more to come. Stay with us. We'll be back after a short cleanup. Welcome back to Brookville, Pennsylvania, in the Jefferson County Fairgrounds. If you were wondering how we were going to get that gas out of the dirt, this is how you do it. Controlled burn. You don't want to alter the track by scraping it up, and the dirt doesn't find any. Take a look at the stock class round one, a lap time so far. Josh ELLER leading the charge with that 51.63, and then Arthur Chester was right in his ballpark. That could be interesting when we get to round two at the finals of this class. And then CODY GILT, who laid down the first run with a 53.03. Wait and see. And then, of course, Jeremiah CREASY and Mara Spencer didn't even make the board, as neither one of them finished one after another. This track took them down. This is Lonnie Zimmerman, who's already partway into his run. He's out of Greensburg, Pennsylvania, in the Danvers Auto Salvage Jeep Cherokee. And this machine looks perfect for tough truck racing. We'll see how he does. Rounds the corner down the middle to the second half of this course. It's a figure eight here at Brookville, and it is a tough one. We've seen that already. Nice rhythm. He's not conservative, but there's not a lot of bounce in this vehicle. You notice it sticks when he lands, so it's not causing him some of the problems that Arthur Chester had when he hit that third jump. He got really bounced around the cap, but it's only a 5650. He's going to have to get a little bit more aggressive to get into Josh Eller's ballpark. Coming up next, though, is one of the vehicles that we've been waiting to see all afternoon out of Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania. This is Dave Michael in the number 7 Mazda? Ford? Not quite sure what that is. It looks like he got into an accident on the highway on his way here. What a hit. Right off the start. Come into the first leg here. No, he's on the gas. He's not afraid of it. I'm sure he's getting beaten around that cat. Look at him. He's attacking the obstacles.
All right. Put your foot on the floor.
He's going after it. Tim Howard cheering him on from the announcer's tower.
He's going to hurt tomorrow.
See how he handles this part. Nice. Oh, that was stuffed. And again. Might be in trouble here. Well, thought something was wrong with the truck. Looks like he just slowed down to save it a little bit. Here he comes down the center jump. Bed's coming off. 102.68. It's not going to get him in the hunt, but he'll get an A for effort. Here's another one we're not sure about. This is Terry Kennedy. Don't know much about him. He's driving a 85 Chevy called Patch. Maybe the most appropriately named vehicle here. Rolled in this morning with this truck on a trailer. Now this thing should be pretty tough as far as tough trucks go. It's 85 Chevy. It's got a plethora of different body panels on it, as per the name. Not sure what's going on here on the starting line. Joe Pitts staged him and then hopped off the quad to have a word with him, so I'm not quite sure what that was. Gonna let him go though. Here we go. Again, he should do pretty well here. The truck is pretty stout. Well, there went the rear drive shaft. That's probably a red flag. That's going to be a safety concern with that thing flopping around. So hopefully you can see the red flag. They're honking now with the PA system to try to get him to shut down. There went the rear drive shaft. It just fell out. So now, I guess, well, he's in front wheel drive. He actually should be able to corner pretty well with the truck like that because the rear end's not going to be pushing him around. It might swing out a little, but if he can keep the speed up, he might be able to lay down a nice time.
Continue in front wheel drive till on the train.
But he's got fluid pouring out from under the transfer case. This thing might be about to roast. It's getting awfully hot.
And he's still going.
Taking one. The truck is starting to struggle now. Let's see how he gets through the rest of this. Ooh, that's not a happy truck. I think he just killed the transmission in that one. Disappointed in the cab. What'd you expect? Terry Kennedy. Boy, he made a spectacle of himself today, that's for sure. Let's see who's next. This is a crowd favorite, Super Bob, Robert Sponenberg out of Lebanon, Pennsylvania. One of the best. He has a modified truck his son will be running later.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Super Bob.
Got the cape off the roll bar and everything. A little conservative here on the start, though. He may be feeling out the track for the second round because it is your best time that places you in this competition. So he doesn't have to necessarily do well here. He can use this as a test bed to see how his truck's running today. You can see he's kind of taking it easy. When he gets to the second round, he can't do this. He's going to have to absolutely go for it. A little bit harder that time than he was the first time he went over. Let's see how he handles the second half of this course. He's flying a little bit in that Ford Bronco. There he goes. Getting after it a little bit harder now. Quick in the corners. He might be trying to save himself a little bit of time and get the truck back on the ground. I don't think it didn't work for him. A 1:66.
1 minute, 0.60.
Coming up next, one of the toughest in this game out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, Charles Wagner, the Daimler's Tire service-sponsored vehicle. You guys are regular at the State Fair Farm Complex. There in his hometown of Harrisburg, and this guy will absolutely get after it. Been on his top in 2 different classes, more than once. He's moving. As quick as he is right now, he actually may need to pick up the pace. He's losing just a little bit of time here. See what he does on the final leg. Oh, he's getting after it. This is going to be an awesome finish. Watch this. Oh, yeah. Doesn't slow down for anything. I would love to see what that helmet cam is seeing right now. He is getting banged around in that cap. Nice run. 54.25 is going to get him in the hunt. He was last up in the stock class. Let's see how he did. John Eller, Reese, Charles Wagner in 4th. Arthur Chester in 2nd place with 51.75. That's Cody GILT, as we said, Charles Wagner. And Lonnie Zimmerman rounding off your top 5. Then it's Robert Sponenberg and Dave Michael. Because of course, quite a few of our vehicles did not even finish the course. We'll have to see if Jeremiah CREASY can get that Jeep back up and running. He drove it off the track, so we'll see if he can come back for the 2nd round. But before we get to that, we've got the big boys coming up. Modified class, round 1 is coming up. Not going to miss this one. Stay with us. Back in Brookville, Pennsylvania, getting ready for modified tough truck racing. These are the high horsepower, high performance vehicles. You see John Yoder in the red Jeep Cherokee bodied vehicle. He's out of Butler, Ohio. He is going up against Preston Springston. Preston out of Marengo, Ohio. Call that Ford the Gray Goose. You can hear the power of these vehicles right off the starting line. Yoder with the lead coming out. No bounce at all in these trucks. When they land, they stick and they move on. Yoder remains in the lead. Springston's going to have to play catch up here in the 2nd leg. Yoder to the outside. Here comes Springston to the front stretch. A lot of pitch in that gray Ford. The nose coming down hard on that machine. Here comes Yoder across the finish line. He'll post the fast time of these two. 46.03 to a 48.81. So Yoder will take the top time coming out. That'll bring us to our next pair. That's the other Springston brother driving All or Nothing. That's Michael Springston out of Marengo, Ohio as well, up against Jimmy Martin out of Owego, New York, driving the Bad Intentions machine. Joe Pitt's getting them staged up nice and even.
Rich Powell Designs, Diverse Construction, Martin Towing.
First run seemed to go off without a hitch. They're running so close here off the starting line. Let's see how they do. Pretty even start. Springston giving a little bit to Martin. Springston to the outside, Martin to the inside. Say inside, they're both outside turns, but the front stretch for Martin, and he handles it beautifully. Springston on his way around very fast to the turn about the same time, but Martin a little bit quicker coming out. Let's see if Springston can even it up here. A little bit slow in that corner. Springston leading Martin just a little bit, and it's going to be enough to pull the faster time out of the pair. All or nothing. 46-15 to Martin's 47-48. But up next is going to be Scott Martin and the machine they call Haulin' Ass. It's out of WAGNER, New York. Going to take on Paul Hackle out of Vestal, New York, by way of Little Meadows, Pennsylvania. A full body Ford in the near lane. Hackle really cutting in the corner. Little bit of trouble for Martin on the front stretch. Hackle gets sideways trying to line up for his first hit. Martin getting the better of the two runs coming out. He's into the corner first. Hackle's going to have to play catch up. Paul Hackle now heads to the front stretch. Scott Martin with a sizable lead. Hackle trying to make up some time. A huge leap. Not going to do it for him. Well, Martin getting a little bit of trouble coming around that final corner, but Hackle still not going to be able to pull this one out. 48-12 will take the better of the two times. And now here come two of the best. Michael Leupold out of Appalachian, New York, up against Jake Nichols in the Foy Toy. Two of the guys who helped develop the steering brakes these vehicles have. They have individual brakes on the rear end of these vehicles that control the left and right wheels individually that allow them to cut as hard as they do in these corners. And we'll watch them go to work here. It's a very round turn to the outside, so you don't necessarily have to do that right here. Here comes the Foy Toy, a little bit behind. Warhorse in the lead. Looks like the Foy Toy made it made up. Nope, not quite enough. Let's see if he can do it on this next leg. Warhorse trying to open up that lead he's got. Dueling Broncos here in the first round. Leupold looking solid right to that third jump. Getting the fans on their feet, and he will maintain that lead. Takes the better of the two times. Nichols with a 45-19. The new leader, Leupold, with a 44.09. Pat Winchester now out of Ellery Center, New York in the metal case, up against Brett Sponenberg, who saw his father in Super Bob. He's driving Beer Money. Sponenberg out of Bloomsburg, Pennsylvania, trying to take out Pat Winchester right here. Maybe take away some bragging rights here. Claim that purse for himself. Pat Winchester way out in front right now. He has been a dominant force in this class. Black and green Ford Raptor. Final corner, and you see what kind of lead he has on Sponenberg as he crosses the finish line. Here comes Beer Money. Boy, he got bound up in that corner. Winchester, new leader with a 43.41. He will take the best of this round. And here are the results going away. Pat Winchester with a 43.41. You see Mike Leupold with a 44.09. Jake Nichols, John Yoder, and then Michael Springston. That's your top five. We'll take a look at the second half of this field here in a second. James Martin with a 47.46. Then you see Scott Martin, Preston Springston, Brett Sponenberg, and Paul Hackle round out your top 10 coming out of the modified class. Not over yet, though. We go back to the stock. Who's left? That's the question. If it's a wild first round, what will the second round bring us? Stay tuned to find out. Time for the final round of the stock class tough trucks here at Brookville, Pennsylvania. This is CODY GILT Time to beat from the last round was 61-63, laid down by Josh Eller in his Subaru Brat. Let's see if GILT can do it. Vehicle goes by the name of Plan B. Beautiful turn coming out of the first half of this course, headed to the second. Vehicle appears to be handling flawlessly right now. So he handles this triple. This vehicle seems to stick too. There's a little bit of bounce in the rear end, but it's not too bad. It's a very, very well prepared vehicle. Problems in that corner though. 48-46 takes the lead. And now Josh Eller will have to try to get his time back. It is your best time that places you in each class, so he has to, if he wants to win, beat the time that was just laid down. He cannot go off his time from the first round. He now has to beat the time that Cody GILT just laid down. Let's see what he can do. Hard bounce on the rear end there. He's got him a good run going. Ooh, another hard hit on that rear end. Still making good time, but we're starting to see that smoke again. I think he might have a differential going away. A lot of smoke, and now he's having trouble keeping the vehicle straight. He's slowing to a snail's pace. Not going to beat the time here. He's giving it up, but he damaged that machine. Still trying to lay down a fast run to get himself something. As far as placement by the end of this class, that's got to be disappointing. He was the fastest in round one, and he just...
That's going to be kind of funny when it slams.
Mechanical problems. Arthur Chester now. He's going to go after Cody GILT. The hatch is open in the back.
I was kind of thinking the same thing, you know.
I don't know if he knows that or not. He's elected not to close it. We'll see if it closes itself over the jumps. It's getting slammed there. Let's see if it even stays on the Jeep.
Little aerodynamics, maybe found something out in the pits.
Yep, well, there it goes. Shuts himself right there. He's attacking this track. Smooth turn for Arthur Chester. This run can do it. It's going to have to be really smooth on this last part, though, because Plan B, Cody GILT, was very, very fast. Going after it again. That's how he got through there the first time. This vehicle's holding together beautifully. A little bit wide in the final corner. I think he might actually brush the tire there. The 50-72 is not going to do it.
50.72. He did come up, he shaved a full second off his last.
Head up for next one. Jeremiah CREASY now. He's going to go after the 48-46. See if he can keep it upright this time.
Here we go.
See the damage on the right front. A little jump on the start there. I don't know if they're going to call that or not.
Well, he definitely ain't slowing down from that last time he was out here, is he?
First corner going a lot smoother for him. Of course, it was not that side of the course that he had problems with. It's when he came back over here. Let's see if he can get through here this time. The vehicle's still handling very well. It was not a hard hit to the undercarriage or any of the steering parts. The body took the brunt of that last hit. Slows down quite a bit there, but he's out in front right now. If he can stay smooth all the way through the last half of this course, he may have something for him. And it's going to be 47.07. He indeed takes the lead. Now they're going to be going after Jeremiah. So from GOAT to hero. He was on his top, now he's on top. Here comes Lonnie Zimmerman. Time to beat a 47.07. He's a little conservative off the start. Let's see what he's going to come to the near side first. Doesn't matter, as long as you run the opposite leg the second time around, you can switch up how you start your run. So you can run this front half first and not take a penalty, but he is having trouble getting around these corners tight. He's doing a nice job. He should end up with a fairly decent time here, but I don't think he's going to beat Jeremiah CREASY with this run. He's not. He's just gone past the mark. 52.78. Not going to close in on it at all. But here comes the wild man. This is Dave Michael. Actually kind of surprised to see him back. As much of a beating as this truck got in the first round. He stands on it, but doesn't want to come off the starting line. What a hit. Rounds that first corner to the outside. Really not attacking the jumps. I think he's just trying to get the, well, he does that one, but I still think he's just trying to kind of get this truck through the course. He's got to be having a blast. His first time today running one of these tough trucks. That bed is coming off.
All right, here he comes around this front straightaway. Let's see what he's got over the whoops.
Back over here on the front stretch. Ooh. You have to hit it hard to keep it from stuffing in like that. Let's say he takes this one. Yeah, he just kind of rolled those jumps. He's not going to be even close to the time. See if we can get it under a minute. He was way off the pace last time. I don't think he's going to do it at 1:04.19, so not at all. But still got the crowd on their feet for that one. They like watching him go. Here comes Robert SPONENBERG. You saw his son there in the modified class. You saw him earlier right here. Laid down a bit of a conservative run in Super Bob. Let's see if he picks up the pace at all in this round. A little bit faster off the starting line jump. He still didn't fly it. We know he's not afraid of it, so I don't know. Maybe he's having a mechanical problem. Truck's sticking, but it seems like he's struggling a bit.
One more time up that center jump.
Heads into the final half of the course here. Again, pretty aggressive on this front side, but still, it's not looking like he's going to even get close to that top time. The 47, no, he's not at all. The 47.07, he's pushing a full 10 seconds off of that pace, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. Final vehicle in this class, this is Charles Wagner in the Daimler's Tire Service Jeep Cherokee out of Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and he is going after that 47.07. He and Jeremiah have gotten together before. We'll see what he can do here. He's pretty aggressive. This Jeep, I believe, is four-wheel drive. Shouldn't have too much trouble plowing in the corners. He's locking the brakes up, and he also has a Jeep CJ in the modified class, so he's no stranger to the high horsepower and high speed. Let's see how he gets through this final leg. As he, sideways kick, he gets bounced around in the cockpit. That's going to hurt his time right there. I don't think he's going to do it. No, he's not. Jeremiah CREASY, he's going to take the win out of the stock class as Charles Wagner finishes up a respectable run, especially considering what happened to him. Let's watch it again. Watch him get bounced around in the cockpit. Right here, he's already getting knocked around, but he gets this weird sideways hit. Again, he's got a helmet cam on him. He's very interested to see what's on that. There you see it. Jeremiah CREASY, your victor here in the stock class with 47.07. And it's Cody GILT, Arthur Chester, and Josh ELLER, followed by Charles Wagner, who we just saw run. Josh ELLER held on with his first run, so you can see how competitive this class got by the second round. We're not done though, one more to go. Modified class, final round. The high horsepower, it's on the way. Stay with us. final runs for the day on the line. John Yoder out of Butler, Ohio, getting ready to take on Preston Springston out of Marengo, Ohio. With Ray Goose in the near lane, he'll have the front stretch for the first half of this course. He's got to get out on Yoder. Yoder much faster than Springston in the first round. Springston nice and smooth, but Yoder is still faster on that back stretch. Although Springston keeping the truck down a little bit better this time. As they get together in the corner. Looks like Springston got the brunt of that. He falls way back. Yoder just has to keep it smooth at this point to get the better of these two times. A little damage to that rear pillar. He's nosing way over in that red Jeep. Really hard turn. You can see the lead he's now got on Springston. Yoder will take it across the finish line at a 44.50. Springston with a 48.56. Here's that meeting in the middle again. Look at that. It's actually kind of a hard hit. Springston nosed over, and when he comes around here, the truck was plowing, and then Yoder's rear end got out on him. I think that actually kept Yoder a little bit straighter. It may have sped him up. Springston getting a big chunk knocked off the front of his truck. No foul though. Here comes Michael Springston, Marengo, Ohio. He's taking on James Martin out of Owego, New York. Even off the starting line. Michael Springston a little slow in that corner, but he has the lead. All or nothing way out in front. Martin gonna have to play catch up on the final leg. He's going for it all the way to that third ramp. Springston with a 42.92. New leader outruns Martin at a 50.94. Here comes Scott Martin and hauling ass up against Paul Hackle in the Swamp Donkey.
Sponsors of Martin Towing, Marcus Cole.
Pretty even start. Hackle drops back a bit to give Martin some room, it looks like. We know Hackle will launch it off of this front set. Martin gets in that turn first. Steps out on him a little. He's having some trouble with the drivetrain in that truck. That or he's got an axle going away. I can't tell. He might have a hub going away. He is all over the course, still maintains the lead. Martin's starting to get out on him a little bit in the final corner. He's plowing. Ooh, they get into each other. Where's he going? Into the tires. Martin of the DNF. That was a case of a stuck throttle, I'm pretty sure, because he drove straight in. Watch this. He gets in the corner and the truck doesn't stop. The rear wheels are still pushing him along. The front end's not pulling at all, and he drives straight into the boundary tires. That was a hard lick to the front end of that truck. They get him pulled out of there. Paul Hackle, in the meantime, goes across the finish line. Now Jake Nichols and the Foy Toy and Mike Leupold and the Warhorse. These are two guys that could absolutely, either one of them, take the win here today. Warhorse out of Appalachian, New York, had the better of these two runs in the earlier round. Let's see if Foy Toy can outrun him here. Jake Nichols is faster in this round. He's plowing around this course. Warhorse is right on his tail though. Loophole to the outside lane. Much smoother this time, Nichols, as he flies across the last leg of this course. Warhorse gets into the turn first. Nichols cuts him off. Foy Toy is the better of these two runs. Neither one of them will take the lead. Michael Springston maintains it. 43.32 was the faster of those two times for Foy Toy. Got close, and now the final run of the day. Pat Winchester gonna try to knock down that 42.92. Brett Sponenberg, son of Robert Sponenberg, in the far lane in beer money. This is gonna be a good one. Here we go. Winchester way out in front. We'll see if Sponenberg. Oh, and big problem for Sponenberg. He went over 2.5 times. Huge. And look at this, he's driving away. The rear end of that truck is damaged, but he's going to drive it off the course. He's in one piece at least, though. I'm sure he's going to be feeling that tomorrow. Look at this. It looks like he clipped the up ramp on that bus jump there for the monster trucks that are out here today, and it sent him over side for side. Very abrupt turn. That's 1, 2.5 there. He goes over 2.5 times. And now Pat Winchester will try. Is back on the line. They didn't even have to clear the course because Sponenberg drove off the track. Winchester will now try to take this with a solo run. Let's see if he can do it. Much cleaner than he was the first into the first turn. Mental case. Looking solid. Very well-built Ford Raptor body vehicle. And he's got a little more room on the course than he had in the previous round. Doesn't have someone next to him. He's ahead of the clock right now. Let's see if he does it. And he does take it at a 42.66. You see Michael Springston with a 42.94, almost held on. Winchester just crept ahead of him, and it's Jake Nichols and Mike Loophole, teammates there. The Foy Toy Racing team with 43.32 and a 44.09, and then John Yoder, who had a wild afternoon, getting banged into by Preston Springston. What a way to start the season. For all of us here at BC Power Sports, we want to thank you for joining us. We will see you next time.